My alias is Kwam MC, and as my alias suggests, I am a recording artist. I guess the catch-all term might be electronic music. It tends to be grime music. I have been known to vocal rap instrumentals also, but primarily grime instrumentals. So in that sense, you could call me a grime MC, and I wouldn't get upset about it. Yeah, so I first got introduced to grime, it's probably been about the year 2001, 2002, and it was just literally everyone in the area was listening to this new music, so I heard it, caught onto it straight away, and didn't really start writing anything at that point. I waited until it would have been maybe about 2005 when I wrote my first lyric. Actually no, that's a lie, I did write some lyrics early on in that 2001 2002 period, but it was nothing serious. I wasn't thinking about being an actual MC or recording any tracks or anything like that. And then I eventually left sixth form to go to university in about the year was 2004, and then the year after that was when I started really writing seriously with a view to being on sets and possibly writing tunes. So 2005 is when I started writing. 2006 was when I realised that I was going to do it as a serious vocation. So let's say 2006 is the starting point. The first track I put out was the track that I had produced myself. This little jingly thing on Fruity Loops, and it was with this guy that I knew at the time called Rene, who was going by the name Red Eye. So that would have been the first track I actually recorded and then showed my mates. I didn't put it out publicly. This was before the days of sort of Twitter and using YouTube and MySpace. Even MySpace wasn't around them times. It was very much like you record your tunes, put them onto CDs and just give them out. So I wasn't at that stage yet. It was just this question of, at that point, just handing out the tune around my mates. And the tune was terrible. There's no there's no two ways about it, but luckily I had mates that were honest enough to tell me it wasn't great. It was alright, but not great. So yeah, it sort of started from there. The energy, the aggressiveness, the camaraderie, the sheer technical genius of some of the best performers, all of that really was just absolutely enchanting. I think more than anything, like the overarching thing was this feeling that this came from here, you know, like we made it. It's not something that was imported from another country or another culture, that it was actually built not far up the road from me, you know what I mean? So that was always absolutely fascinating to me, so I always wanted to be. True Facts was 2010, that was my first actual album. I was doing loads of promos previous to that, so I had like 6, I call them EPs now, so just little 5-6 track releases. And then this album, so those first few EPs, that's probably the best starting point. It was the Who Am I series, so Who Am I Part 1 I did, I believe, 2006, I think it was, when I put that out. And from then till now, I'd say the quality in my storytelling, in my actual building a story lyrically, has improved massively. Like, just because you learn how to structure things better, you learn different ways to flow things to make them flow a little bit more smoothly, and you just get comfortable with what you're doing as the months and years progress, really. So I think that'd be my major improvement, alongside the ability to really pinpoint and be very specific in what I'm saying on the track, because it's quite easy to want to say something but then not actually have the lyrical ability to get what you're saying across. Do you know what I mean? So I think that's improved massively in my what's the word? I guess performance or armory or whatever. You know what I mean? Yeah. So just sort of rhetorical, reflective questions. Who am I? Why does truth hurt? What is people power? Is it even really a thing? Who am I? Sorry, I already said who am I. Why don't I know? What don't I know? You know what I mean? So sort of continue on that theme. And as I say, it's more of an exploration than declaration. You know what I mean? It will sound as though I'm saying things on the tracks when you hear them. It will sound like I'm making statements. But I feel I look at them more like questions. Do you know what I mean? Questions to which I don't really have the answer, and therefore I don't know. You know, so that's really what I was trying to go with that one. So normally when I'm doing tracks like for a project, the first thing I'll always write will be the chorus. If I'm actually writing a song, and then you just kind of build around the song from there. I don't really have any massively rigid structure, but what I tend to like to do is start with the chorus and then just go verse 1, verse 2, and then however many verses it may be. So yeah, I kind of try and do it in order, but then sometimes you find yourself swapping the verses around, or even swapping some lyrics around because they just fit better a different way. So there's no hard and fast rule, but if there is one general rule, normally I'll start by writing the chorus, yeah. I think the background to this actual EP is quite important because prior to it, about a year prior to it, I wasn't really thinking about MCing anymore. I just started doing my tennis coaching, which is still going very well, thank you very much. And I was very much thinking to myself, well, I've just started this and it's given me back so much in terms of financial security and career opportunity and a career path that maybe I should just jack in MCing because, you know, I sweated blood, or it felt like I sweated blood at sometimes and completely busted my balls for not very much at some points. So I was ready to stop. I got sent a couple of tracks that I quite enjoyed and vocaled them, but I still wasn't really going to MC as such. And I got sent this other track. It was really good, and I vocaled it, and it was that good that I thought to myself, well, I can't just have one tune. I've got to I guess I've got to do a couple more. Sort of started tentatively going back to radio again once every so often. Got a little bit of a good feeling about it. Started writing a few new lyrics, started going to radio a little bit more, and the lucky thing was this was all in winter, so there's not that much tennis coaching going on, so I had a bit more free time to do it. Anyway, long story short, somehow I ended up in studio just doing 4 tracks in one evening, and yeah, there we have it. We had the EP just like that. And it's not to say that it wasn't pre-planned. There was an element of planning before I went into the studio. It wasn't like I just sort of was walking down the road and then someone said, "Oh, do you want to come to the studio?" It was more, I did actually plan it and sort of write the tunes in advance and all that. But even as I was recording, I was thinking, do I really want to be? I'm not sure if I want to be out there like that anymore, and I'm still not sure, if I'm honest. So we'll see what happens. So that's kind of exactly how it was born, really. It was kind of a planned accident, if that makes sense.